Every single day you lie, not once, not twice. Research suggests the average person tells somewhere between 1 and 2 lies per hour, and here's the strange part, most of those lies aren't even conscious. Here's the part that most people miss when they imagine a life-free world. Lying isn't just about saying false things. It's about time. Humans lie to protect a future they're not sure of. You tell someone you'll be okay because you want that to be true. You say the business will recover because you're betting it will. You perform confidence you don't fully feel because confidence, once performed enough, sometimes becomes real. Some lies are rehearsals for a truth that doesn't exist yet. Strip away all deception, and you don't just lose false information. You lose a very particular kind of human hope, the kind that's spoken out loud before it's earned. People could only claim what they already had. And that might be the most limiting thing of all. Lying is so embedded in human life that most people don't even notice they're doing it. I'm fine. You're not fine. That looks great on you. You're not sure it does. I'll be there in 5 minutes. You haven't left the house yet. These aren't the lies of criminals. They're the lies of people trying to survive socially, emotionally, sometimes professionally. Humans have been lying for as long as they've had language. Maybe longer. Some scientists believe deception existed before speech did, in gesture, in behavior, in the subtle art of making others believe something that isn't really. Can humans stop lying? The question is, what would actually happen if they did? Now imagine a world where that stops completely. Where every human, everywhere, can only ever say exactly what they mean. You might think, that sounds wonderful. Honest. Clean. Safe. But there's something deeply uncomfortable waiting at the end of that thought. Something most people never considered. Will get there. Section 1. The first 24 hours. Picture your morning. You wake up and someone asks how you slept. You say, not great, actually, I was thinking about how much I dislike my job. Your partner asks if you're happy. You tell them the full truth, without softening it. You get to work. Your manager asks for an update. You say the project is behind because you've been unmotivated for weeks. Within hours, relationships fracture. Not because of cruelty, but because humans have never built their social structures for total transparency. We built them around a careful, quiet agreement to not say everything we think. That agreement holds civilization together more than most people realize. Section 2. The social architecture of deception. Here's something worth sitting with. A lot of what we call politeness is organized, socially approved lying. When you tell someone their presentation was good when it was average, you're not being kind in the traditional sense. You're maintaining a shared illusion that makes cooperation possible. Psychologists call these prosocial lies. Lies told not for personal gain, but to protect the feelings and functioning of other people. A world without lying, prosocial lying disappears too. And suddenly, every interaction becomes an unfiltered negotiation with raw reality. Think about what that does to confidence, to creativity, to the quiet courage it takes to try something new when you know that every person around you will tell you, immediately, without cushion, exactly what they think. Section 3. What happens to power? Now move beyond personal relationships. Think about governments. Think about negotiations between countries. Think about the carefully worded statements leaders make during a crisis. Diplomacy, in its oldest form, is the art of strategic truth management. Not always lying, but choosing which truths to say, when, and how. Remove that ability entirely, and foreign policy collapses overnight. Alliances built on ambiguity dissolve. Conflicts that were managed through careful non-truths suddenly have no buffer. There's a reason every major civilization developed diplomacy and deception at roughly the same time. They're not opposites. They're partners. Section 4. The economy of false belief. And then there's money. Advertising is built on selective truth. Currency itself is a collective agreement to believe in something that has no inherent value. Stock markets run partly on confidence, which is another word for a shared story. That story gets harder to maintain. Not impossible, but harder. The interesting thing is that some of the most important systems humans ever built, economic, political, social, they all have a small, but essential amount of false belief baked into them. Like load-bearing walls. Remove them, and the structure doesn't improve. It falls. So here's the thought to sit with. You've probably wished, at some point, that people would just be honest. That the world would stop pretending, but the world you imagined, the cleaner, more honest one, it assumes humans are ready for it. What if they're not? What if some of the lies aren't keeping truth away, but keeping something far more fragile intact? And if that's true, which lies are load-bearing? There's a version of this conversation that's becoming very real, very fast. AI systems, language models, detection tools, behavioral trackers are getting increasingly good at identifying deception. Microexpressions, linguistic patterns, physiological signals. The gap between what you feel and what you say is narrowing in ways that used to only exist in science fiction. Some governments are already exploring truth verification in legal and security contexts, which raises a quiet, uncomfortable question. What happens to human society when the option to lie is removed, not by moral choice, but by technology? The social architecture humans built over thousands of years was designed around the assumption that inner thoughts were private. That performance was possible. That you could choose what to reveal. If that assumption disappears, not gradually, but suddenly, humans may find themselves in a world they are deeply unprepared for, not because honesty is bad, but because the structures built to hold human life together were never designed to survive complete transparency.